What if I told you that stopping masturbation after age 60 could be silently kindizing your health in ways you never imagined? This isn't about moral judgments, societal taboos, or feelings of shame-ites, about the undeniable biology of your body. I've witnessed countless menants, vibrant, confident, and full of life, gradually slip into fatigue, chronic pain, emotional disconnection, and even severe medical issues, all because they abandoned a natural practice they believed was no longer relevant in their later years. The truth is sobering. Giving up masturbation in old age carries profound consequences, some of which can alter the quality of your life or even shorten it. I'm Dr. James Carter, a urologist and men's health expert with over 30 years of clinical experience, having treated thousands of men across the United States. In this comprehensive guide, I'll reveal 6 critical consequences of stopping masturbation after 60, supported by scientific insights and real patient stories. I'll also provide practical, actionable steps to protect your physical health, hormonal balance, emotional well-being, cardiovascular system, and sense of identity. If you're over 60 or care about someone who is, this could be one of the most transformative health lessons you'll ever encounter. Let's dive into why this topic matters more than you've been led to believe, and how you can take control of your vitality starting today. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell to ensure you never miss health insights designed to preserve your strength, confidence, and legacy. In the comments, type 1 if this message resonates with you, or 0 to suggest other health topics you'd like me to explore. Let's begin with the first consequence. Prostate health deteriorates significantly. One of the most immediate and alarming risks of stopping masturbation is the impact on your prostate. I vividly recall Mr. Thompson, a 74-year-old widower with a soft-spoken demeanor, who sat across from me in my office, his eyes filled with confusion and quiet fear. He described a persistent pressure in his lower abdomen, waking up 5 or 6 times a night to urinate, and a nagging discomfort he couldn't explain. "I thought I was doing the right thing, Dr. Carter," he said, his voice cracking with frustration. "I thought giving it up was what a man my age was supposed to do." After running a series of tests, the diagnosis was clear. His prostate was inflamed, congested, and on the verge of infection. This scenario isn't rare. I see it regularly in my practice, and it's a direct consequence of neglecting a natural biological function. The prostate is an organ designed to be active, requiring regular ejaculation to maintain its health. When sexual activity, whether through intimacy with a partner or self-stimulations, ceases entirely, fluids build up, ducts swell, and inflammation takes hold. For men over 60, abandoning masturbation often triggers this process. Early symptoms, such as increased urinary urgency, more frequent bathroom trips, or mild pelvic discomfort, are often dismissed as inevitable signs of aging. But these are warning signs, and ignoring them allows the problem to escalate quietly. In advanced cases, this stagnation can lead to prostatitis, a painful condition that may require antibiotics, catheterization, or even surgical intervention. Some men endure months or even years of silent suffering, too embarrassed to discuss symptoms tied to a topic society has long stigmatized. What pains me most is that this suffering is largely preventable. Regular ejaculation, even as infrequently as once or twice a week, can significantly reduce the risk of prostate complications by flushing out stagnant fluids, relieving pressure, and keeping the organ healthy. Neglecting this natural process doesn't just cause discomfort risks, infections, bladder dysfunction, chronic pelvic pain, and in severe cases, long-term damage to the urinary system that can erode a man's quality of life. Mr. Thompson later confided, "If someone had explained this to me a decade ago, I could have spared myself this ordeal." My goal is to ensure you hear this message now, clearly and without shame. Prostate health isn't about defying age, it's about honoring your body's biological needs with simple, private acts of self-care. By maintaining this practice, you can protect your prostate and avoid unnecessary pain and medical interventions. Testosterone levels plummet rapidly. The second consequence is a rapid and often preventable decline in testosterone, the hormone that fuels male energy, mental clarity, physical strength, and overall vitality. I once treated a patient named Michael, a 67-year-old retired firefighter who embodied resilience and pride. But when he came to me, he was a shadow of his former self. He was exhausted by midday, had gained noticeable weight around his midsection, and felt a profound disconnection from his identity. "I don't feel like the man I used to be, Dr. Carter," he said, his voice heavy with frustration and defeat. Blood tests confirmed my suspicions. His testosterone levels were alarmingly low, resembling those of men 10 to 15 years his senior. When we explored his lifestyle, a critical detail emerged. After losing his wife, Michael had completely stopped all sexual activity, including masturbation. He believed it was pointless without a partner, a sentiment I hear often from older men. But the body doesn't operate on sentiment, it operates on biology. Testosterone production is closely tied to sexual activity, even solo activity. When a man stops engaging in any form of sexual release, the body interprets this as a signal that reproduction is no longer a priority, leading to a reduction in hormone production. The consequences are far-reaching: chronic fatigue, muscle loss, increased fat accumulation, diminished mental sharpness, and a loss of drive that can make a man feel like he's fading away. Testosterone does more than maintain physical strength. It regulates mood, supports bone density, boosts red blood cell production, and preserves cognitive function. When levels drop prematurely, men often describe aging too fast, when in reality, they're experiencing a preventable hormonal decline. This isn't just a number on a lab test, it's a loss of energy, willpower, and identity. By reintroducing balanced, age-appropriate masturbation just once or twice a week, Michael began to turn things around. Within 6 months, he'd lost 15 pounds, was sleeping through the night, and regained a spark of confidence. "I thought I was just getting old," he told me, "but I was shutting myself down." Regular sexual activity, even solo, keeps the body's hormonal feedback loop active, sustaining the chemistry that fuels your vitality. This isn't about chasing pleasure. It's about preserving the essence of who you are as a man and ensuring you have the energy to live fully. Emotional well-being suffers profoundly. The third consequence is a subtle but devastating impact on your emotional health, often so gradual that men don't realize what's happening until it's taken a significant toll. I'll never forget Walter, a 68-year-old retiree and grandfather who seemed composed on the surface but was unraveling inside. "I don't know what's wrong with me, Dr. Carter," he said. "I'm snapping at my wife, I can't focus, and the things I used to enjoy playing with my grandkids, gardening, don't matter anymore." Then, almost as an afterthought, he added quietly, "And I haven't felt any urge in years." This wasn't just a physical issue, it was a sign of disconnection from his own biology and emotional core, a pattern I see far too often. Sexual activity, even masturbation, plays a critical role in maintaining brain chemistry. It triggers the release of dopamine, the chemical of motivation and pleasure, oxytocin, the hormone of bonding and connection, and endorphins, nature's natural mood enhancers and painkillers. When a man stops engaging with this part of himself, these chemicals diminish, leading to a cascade of emotional changes. Men become more irritable, anxious, or emotionally flat. Small frustrations feel overwhelming, laughter becomes rare, and relationships suffer, whether with a partner, children, or grandchildren. Walter's experience is far from unique. I hear similar stories regularly. Men attribute these changes to age, stress, or external circumstances. But the root often lies in their biology, a disconnection from the very systems that keep them emotionally grounded. By reintroducing gentle, respectful self-stimulation, Walter noticed a transformation within weeks. His irritability subsided, his sleep improved, and he began to find joy in small moments again. His wife called me to say, "Thank you, Dr. Carter. I have my husband back." Masturbation in older age isn't about indulgence or fantasy. It's about maintaining emotional balance. It keeps your neurological circuits active, fostering a sense of connection to yourself and those around you. This simple act can restore patience, joy, and a sense of purpose, reminding you that you're still capable of feeling alive. Emotional health isn't separate from physical health. It's deeply intertwined, and neglecting one risks the other. By prioritizing this aspect of self-care, you can reclaim the emotional fuel that makes life vibrant and meaningful. Circulation weakens, impacting overall health. The fourth consequence is a decline in circulation that affects far more than just the bedroom, with ripple effects across your entire body. A patient named Leonard, a 72-year-old avid gardener who took pride in staying active, came to me with troubling symptoms. "My legs feel heavy, my hands are cold more often, and I feel disconnected from my body," he said. Hesitantly, he added, "It's not just about sex, Dr. Carter. I just don't feel right." His words struck a chord because they revealed a truth many men overlook. Sexual activity, including masturbation, is critical for maintaining pelvic blood flow, which supports the entire cardiovascular system. When sexual activity ceases, circulation in the pelvic region slows, and the effects extend far beyond intimacy. Reduced blood flow can lead to mild erectile dysfunction at first, but the consequences grow more serious over time. Poorer bladder control, numbness in the extremities, and a gradual decline in vascular health. The pelvic region houses blood vessels that supply not only the organs of intimacy, but also the legs, bladder, prostate, and even the brain. When these vessels aren't exercised through arousal and release, they stiffen, shrink, and weaken, increasing the risk of serious conditions like heart disease, hypertension, or stroke. Leonard's blood tests showed elevated inflammatory markers, and an ultrasound revealed narrowing arteries in his lower body. His symptoms weren't just aging, they were signs of circulation loss tied to years of sexual inactivity after his wife's passing. With a combination of gentle pelvic exercises, adjusted medications, and safe, regular masturbation, Leonard began to feel warmth in his hands and legs again. His balance improved, and he described feeling reconnected to his body. Ignoring this aspect of health doesn't just affect intimacy, it risks your overall vitality. Sexual activity is like a workout for your blood vessels, keeping them flexible and responsive. By maintaining this practice, you're not just preserving function in one area. You're supporting your heart, brain, and entire body's ability to thrive. This isn't just about maintaining sexual function, it's about ensuring your body remains a living, dynamic system capable of supporting you for years to come. Loss of sexual confidence and masculine identity. The fifth consequence is a profound erosion of sexual confidence and masculine identity, even for men who aren't seeking a partner. I met Robert, a 79-year-old former teacher, during a routine checkup. Physically, he was in decent shape, but there was a dimness in his demeanor, a quiet resignation. After some hesitation, he confided, "I know this might sound odd, Dr. Carter, but I don't feel like a man anymore." His words hit hard because I've heard their unspoken echo countless times. When a man disconnects from his sexuality, even privately, it begins to reshape how he sees himself, often in ways he doesn't fully recognize until the loss is profound. You don't need to be in a relationship to feel this shift. Over time, stopping masturbation sends a subtle but damaging message to your mind that you're no longer a sexual being, that this part of your life has expired. This erosion is gradual interest in grooming, reduced motivation to engage socially, growing self-doubt. Men start to feel invisible, not just to others, but to themselves. This loss of confidence doesn't just affect self-image, it influences behavior. Men may avoid doctor visits, downplay symptoms, or withdraw from social settings, living smaller and quieter lives. I've seen men give up on recovery after surgeries or illnesses, not because of physical limitations, but because they've lost their spark, their sense of fight and purpose. Reconnecting with your body through gentle, shame-free masturbation can reignite that spark. It's not about fantasy or performance. It's about affirming your aliveness, your worth, and your right to exist as a whole person. For Robert, allowing himself this reconnection brought noticeable changes. He stood taller, his humor returned, and he said, "I feel like I have something to offer again." Sexual confidence isn't about external validation. It's about owning your identity, your vitality, and your place in the world, no matter your age. By embracing this practice, you're reminding yourself that you're still here, still capable, and still worthy of respect both from others and from yourself. Increased risk of chronic health conditions. The sixth and often overlooked consequence is an increased risk of chronic health conditions that stem from the cumulative effects of the previous issues. When prostate health declines, testosterone levels drop, circulation weakens, and emotional well-being falters, the body becomes more vulnerable to systemic problems. I treated a patient named George, a 70-year-old former mechanic, who came to me complaining of fatigue, weight gain, and a general sense of falling apart. He had stopped all sexual activity years earlier, believing it was no longer relevant. But his symptoms weren't just age-related, they were signs of a body under strain. Blood tests revealed elevated inflammatory markers, high blood pressure, and early signs of insulin resistance, all of which were exacerbated by his lack of sexual activity. Sexual activity, including masturbation, supports overall health by reducing stress, improving circulation, and maintaining hormonal balance. When this activity stops, the body loses a natural mechanism for regulating inflammation and stress hormones like cortisol, which can contribute to conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. For George, the absence of sexual release had compounded other lifestyle factors, creating a perfect storm of health risks. By reintroducing safe, regular masturbation alongside dietary changes and light exercise, he began to see improvements not just in his energy levels, but in his blood pressure and blood sugar readings. This consequence underscores a critical point. Sexual health is not isolated from the rest of your body. It's a cornerstone of systemic well-being, influencing everything from your immune system to your cardiovascular health. By neglecting this aspect of yourself, you're not just risking discomfort, you're increasing your vulnerability to chronic diseases that can diminish your quality of life and longevity. Regular, balanced masturbation can be a simple yet powerful tool to support your body's resilience, helping you stay strong and healthy for years to come. Conclusion: the price of abandoning masturbation in old age is far greater than most men realize, and it's often paid in silence. Your prostate becomes inflamed, risking pain, infection, and long-term damage. Your testosterone plummets, draining your energy, strength, and mental clarity. Your emotional balance falters, leading to irritability, anxiety, and a loss of joy. Your circulation weakens, threatening your heart, brain, and overall vitality. Your sense of manhood, your confidence, and identity begins to fade. And over time, these changes increase your risk of chronic health conditions that can steal years from your life. These aren't minor sacrifices, they're hidden losses that erode the essence of who you are. But here's the empowering truth. It's never too late to reclaim your health and vitality. Masturbation in your later years isn't dirty, shameful, or childish. It's a form of biological, emotional, and hormonal hygiene. It's a private, dignified way to affirm that you're still here, still capable, still worthy of feeling alive. You don't need anyone's permission to honor your body's needs. You only need the courage to recognize that living isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving, feeling strong, and embracing the man you are. Take that first step today, not out of obligation, but out of love for the life you still have to live. If this message stirred something in you, type "I'm still alive" in the comments to declare your commitment to your health, confidence, and manhood. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell to stay informed with health truths designed for men like you. Your story isn't over. It's time to take your power back and live fully, no matter your age,